Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So this week for my scraps video, we're going to make 5 cards and we're going to focus on the tea bag folding technique. So there's loads of different ways that you can do this and you can get some really lovely effects. I have shared some before on the channel, but I thought it'd be nice to have one video with 5 different versions. So you've got something that you can come to. But what I'll do is I'll pop up along the video somewhere the Dahlia fold card and the other ones. If I can find them on my channel, then I'll link them all along as well. But these are the scraps that I've pulled out today, so let's get started. Okay, so for the first card, this one I would say is the easiest out of all 5 of them. This one is 3.5 by 3.5. You want 4 pieces, and then what I'm going to do is flip it over because I want the pattern on the outside. So I'm going to fold this in half on the diagonal, so just make sure your points all line up. I would say a paper is going to work better for all of these cards because it's a form of origami. You're doing lots of folds on top of each other, but I have used some cardstock in some of them, so you can do it, but it might just be a bit more bulky. And then I'm going to fold over the other side, so you should now have 4 triangles. Okay, so we've just gone that way and then that way. Next, you want to get the point and you're going to fold it into the center, so where the folds cross over, and you just want to do that all the way around. Fold each one in, make sure you get a nice point here and they run nice and flush with each other. Like so. And then you're going to fold this piece back so the point is along the side of that square again. So depending on what you want to be visible, you may want to have pattern on these pieces that flips over, and this would be white, or you may have a double-sided, you might have pattern on both sides. So just play around, you'll get some really nice effects, but that's the shape that you want. And then if you want, you can add the glue. I have done, because I'm adding butterflies in the middle of this, so they had some dimension. I just thought it was a bit too much if I didn't stick these down, but I'm only putting a very thin like bead of glue just on the inside there, so you don't need a lot. But I'm not going to stick down these tabs. I think they're nice, keeping those ones open. And then I've just got this little butterfly. Again, you'll want to cut 4 of these. You'll want to do this 4 times. You might want to do one large one, as long as it's an equal-sided square. You could do a bigger one if you wanted to. That would cover most of the front of your card. You might want to stamp a sentiment in the middle, but you want to have 4 of those. So there's my 4 there. So I've got this top folding 6x6 card blank, and I've cut a piece of 5 3/4 squared pattern paper to go on top. And then I'm just going to arrange these so that I have the designs like so. And then I've got this little sentiment which says birthday wishes, which I'm going to stick in the middle. And there's the finished card. Very quick, very easy to do, but really effective, especially with these pieces all kind of still lifted. And then you could pop some little embellishments in the centers there if you're using butterflies. Just lift those up a little bit more there, and you could put pattern paper inside there, but I wanted them to pop against the white card. That's card number 1. Okay, so for card number 2, you want to cut yourself 4 2-inch circles, around 2 inches, but you might want to do bigger. This is going to fit on a 6x6 card. So once you've got the ones that you want, you're going to fold in half. It's easier to hold this up actually. So fold in half and then fold in half again. Okay, and then you want to fold over. I'll do it first and then I'll bring it up. You're going to fold over one of the segments. You'll have 4 segments, and you want to fold in so you have this little curved piece, but it's within the score line of the segment. So again, you're going to do it just on 2 sides. So I'm going to do this one here, and you want it, the end of it, to join with the score line through the middle there. Okay, like so. And then flip it over, and then you're going to bring this outer line up to this middle line. Okay, so you just want to bring it over, and the bottom piece will flip out, which is what you want. You can see I've folded, just brought that one over so it meets that middle score line. And then again with this side, and this is the Dahlia flower, and this is the one I've done before on the channel, but I think I popped it onto a 5x7 if I remember. So that's the effect that you want, or the shape, and you want to do that 8 times. Okay, so this is a 6x6 top folding card blank, and I've already cut this piece here, which was 5 3/4 squared, and I've embossed it using my offset grid. So it just gives it a really nice texture. I've then got all the other pieces here, and you want to start making the flower. So what's going to happen is each one will sit, you want to butt it right up next to each other, so these pieces kind of lift. Now again, it's up to you if you want to stick those pieces down and just have these pieces lifted, which is what I think I'll do, and you just put them all around until they form a circle, and you'll have what they call a dahlia flower in the middle. Now I'm going to have this more towards the top because I've then already gone ahead and cut the word thank you, and that's using my new funky alphabet. This is slimline, so you can get some longer sentiments, but I'm going to have the thank you running all the way along the bottom. And I've already die cut them on foam, and then I've popped another die cut in the same colour, this turquoise, and then white again, but I've offset each one, so they just look quite 3D. Well, they are 3D with the foam, but I don't know, just they really pop, I think, against that. So you can see how the thank and then the U will just fit into there like so. First of all, I'm going to stick the flower down, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue and just stick down those sides. Okay, so that's card number 2 finished. I've just added a little circle, smaller one, and then a little flat back pearl. And then with these ones, I've just folded so you can see this one, this one, this one, and this one are all over the 4 underneath. If you just do it like that, then it will sit nice in the middle as well, and you don't have to put something there. You might have your sentiment. Like I said, you can go much bigger and have this covering the whole of the card, but I will link up, I'm sure it was on a 5x7, the other one that I made. But I think that looks really nice. So that's number 2. Okay, for card number 3, you're going to want to cut yourself 4 pieces of 3.5 by 3.5, and you want to again fold just like we did the last one. So you're going to fold in half on the diagonal, and then you're going to fold in half again, and then you're going to pop it into the square shape and then fold that in half. Okay, so next you'll see you've got 4 triangles on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 2 that are opposite each other with the score line running through. You want to push those in so you get that shape. Okay, so just push it in on itself. Then you want to have it this way, so the point is facing you, and the top one only you're going to fold up, and you want to bring this side so it runs up through the center, so like so. Again, just the top one, you want to leave the bottom one down so you see that like so, and I'd recommend burnishing that. I've used a slightly thicker paper here, but that's the effect you want. You want to do that 4 times. So I've got a 6x6 top folding card blank here, and again I've cut a piece of 5 3/4 square, stuck that on top, and I've embossed it using that same one that I showed you before. So then you've got these 4 pieces, and what's going to happen is they're just going to sit next to each other. And you get this really, really cool effect. Now I'm actually not going to stick all this down. I'm just going to pop a sentiment just in the middle so they all stay quite popped up. I think it looks quite cool. So I think I'm going to have it square like so. Now you could go bigger, so I mean I've done these 3.5. You could probably do 4 or even 4.5 and it would cover more of this, but play around. You could do lots of little ones, you know, you could go right down to like 1.5 by 1.5. I think that would look really good, but I kind of like it in the middle. And then I'm thinking, I did cut that circle, but I might add that. If not, I was going to have possibly the Make-A-Wish or the Happy Days. Happy Days looks quite nice because it's like a burst. It's almost like a sunburst. So just want to get them in the centre, just so I've got a nice even frame there. And then add my glue. And then I've got a lot of wiggle time with this glue, so I can get them all down and then move them into place. And there's card number 3 finished. I love this one. I actually think I'm going to make that much bigger. I think that would look really good on the top of a gift box as your topper. Imagine that at Christmas time and Christmas colours and stuff. I think it looks lovely. Okay, so for card number 4, I was actually inspired by a card I saw on Pinterest for this one. Because a lot of you liked the patchwork quilted style ones that I shared a couple of weeks ago, I thought I'd try and find a tea bag kind of style fold that you can have as a quilt. So these circles here are 2.5 diameter. So you want 9 of these, and then you'll want your squares are 1 5/8 of an inch squared. Okay, what you're going to do is with the circle you want to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again. Then you're going to grab your glue and you're going to stick this in the middle, but you want to make sure that the points of the square sit with the end of the score line. So you can see the score line here and here, here and here. Each of these points needs to line up. So as long as you've got a 2.5 diameter circle, this 1 5/8 of an inch square will meet. If you've got a bigger circle or smaller, you're going to have to, you know, play around with your sizes for that middle bit. But you need it to sit there, because what we're going to do next, use your ruler, line it up with the side of the square and fold that up. Then bring it round again. And then the last one, like so. And then you can go and burnish them right over. Like so. You want to do that 9 times. Okay, so I've got another 6x6 card blank here, and these are the 9. So you want to arrange these now onto your mat. Now I've got 3 green pieces, so I want to make sure I kind of equally space those out. I don't want them really going right down in the middle, so I think I'll do that one there, this one down here, and then I'll do the stripe in the middle because that's the only stripe one I've got. Do a heavy floral in the middle there, and then we do the birds opposite to the bunny there, and then we'll pop that one down the bottom. So again, I'm going to equally space these. I would really focus on getting this one down in the middle and then work your way out, and that way you'll have a nice border. And then I've got this little sentiment which is just going to go in the middle, which just says with love. Now if you want to, you can stick these down, and that's when you'll start to get a bit more of a quilted effect. But I'm going to do that once these are all stuck down, because that way I'll be able to see which way I prefer. So I'm just going to add my glue to the back, and again I'm just going to pull those away and just focus on getting that in the middle. So I've got these very small little foam dots here, and I think if I just pop one on the back there, yeah, that's just the right amount. So it still lifts it, so you can still get to appreciate the design, but it's not too bulky to go in an envelope. So I'm going to pop them on the back of all of these, and then I think the outer ones I might, no, I'm not sure what we do with those. We might stick them in as well. Okay, so that's card number 4 finished. You would have seen me just cut that all off the main card because it was crooked. It drove me mad, so I had to take it all off and then just re-stick it onto another one. So I've got a nice even frame there. I'm really pleased with that one. I like that they're all folded in, but like I said, add a little bit of foam underneath, so you still get all that dimension and the shadow there. I think it looks really nice. The sentiment in the middle, I'm a little bit unsure with. I think I may end up changing that and do something different with it. I'm not sure yet. I might stamp, I've got some very thin stamps, I might stamp a sentiment all the way around the frame and just keep all the inside free, because I can easily just pop another square over the top of that one if that leaves a mark when I take it off. But I think it's a really lovely effect. So that's card number 4. Okay, so for card number 5, you're going to cut yourself 8 pieces of 3.5 by 3.5, and you're going to fold in half. Now this is a cardstock I'm using for this one, so it's going to be much thicker, but I can just get away with it. And then you're going to fold in half again. Okay, so you'll have 4 of these triangles. Fold it back in half again, and you're going to bring this side, or the top, so have it in this orientation, this top here you're going to bring down so it lines up with that middle score line. So just pull it across like so, and again bring that one across. Okay, next make sure you've got the opened end facing you. You're going to bring the left one, you want to fold it right up to the corner. Okay, and then you want to open up this piece here and you want to squash it back down into a square shape. You see we've got that square, so I'll just do that slowly so it's in half. Just put your finger in that piece, just squash it, and just make sure that this lines up with the corner there. Get all the points lined up. Okay, then this one here, you're going to do the same, but we're just not folding it in half again. You're just going to put your finger in there and you want to squash open all of this piece, but make sure if you flip it over, make sure that score line or fold runs the same as that one underneath. So you'll have something that looks like that. You want to do that 8 times. Okay, so I've got a slightly smaller card here. This was just in my stash. It's 5.5 by 5.5. So I've got all of my pieces here, and I'm going to do these. Yeah, let's do this one and this one together. So you want to make sure you're going to always sit one over the top of the other. So this whole piece with the square on the right is going to stick over that one, and you want to make sure that the points sit together there. So I'm going to stick these as I go. I'm just going to cover this with glue and then make sure this lines up with this piece here, and you'll see those points all line up with each other under there. And then we'll go for this one next. So this one's going to go again. If you focus on the squares and just making sure the points line up in the middle there, you'll see this effect that we're getting. So then I've got that one, and that one. So So I'm going to do this one. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and repeat that with the last ones. And then add the glue to that last, and then that should just lay over the top. Just make sure they're all concealed like so. Now this one's the bulkiest of them all, plus I have used a cardstock, so there's a bit more than you would if you had paper. You also get a really nice effect on the back there as well, but I'm now going to use my clown. I'm just going to cover the inside piece like that. If you want to add a matte layer to there, you can. And then I'm going to have it like that. Now if you want to stick more of this down, you can. I actually think I'm going to leave this one because I quite like all that dimension. I can always pop this one into a box envelope. And then I've got just a little, I think that was a 1-inch disc, and that's just to hold it down. And then I've got another sentiment. I think I'm going to have the "You're Lovely" in the centre. And there you have it. You could also pop a brad through the middle of that and have it as like a pinwheel, so it actually does move around. If I just bring that up now, how cool is that? Again, really lovely. Once you start doing them, it's, you know, these are all quick to do. Once you get used to the folds, you can create some lovely effects. Again, I think these would look lovely for Christmas cards. Look like a star. It stands up really nicely. Okay, so that's all of the cards. We'll just go back over them again. So this is card number 1, which has those 4 squares with the butterflies. Really pretty. Then you got your dahlia flower with the thank you. This one, I think this might be my favourite. I just really like the way it looks like a burst. I think that'd look nice in yellow actually. Maybe like a blue background or something. You could definitely work with that. You certainly do a small one for a sun if you're creating a scene. And then this one, I do love this one as well though. So hopefully all of you quilters and people that are into the soft craft, you'll like that one. And then the one that I've just done, again, very dimensional, wonderful topper on the top of a gift. I think that looked gorgeous. So there you have it. So as always, which one do you prefer, or which one's your favourite? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel and you're liking these scraps videos, check out the scraps playlist that'll be coming up now. There'll also be some videos you might want to go and watch those next. There's lots of inspiration there, and I'll be back again very soon with more tutorials. Take care. Bye.